New tonight, a warning from the U.S. Postal Service. A letter stating North Carolina's election law creates the risk that mail-in ballots may not arrive in time to be counted. Washington, D.C. Bureau reporter Kevin Fry has the letter and the details on what you should be doing to make sure your voice is heard this November.
The warning comes as interest in mail-in voting is surging, sparked in large part by the coronavirus pandemic. Already more than 200,000 North Carolinians have requested a mail-in ballot ahead of this fall's election. That far outpaces the number of requests at this point in the 2016 cycle. So for those still thinking about voting by mail, the advice from the Postal Service: plan ahead and get your ballot early. In a letter, the U.S. Postal Service warned that under North Carolina state law, certain deadlines for requesting and casting mail-in ballots are incongruous with the Postal Service's delivery standards. That creates the risk that ballots requested near the deadline under state law will not be returned by mail in time to be counted. In North Carolina, you can request a mail-in ballot up to a week before Election Day. But the Postal Service says that's just not enough time for the ballot to get to you and for you to mail it back in. The Postal Service advises voters that election officials should have your absentee ballot request no later than 15 days before Election Day. They also say voters should have their ballot in the mail a week before it's due. In this case, since North Carolina accepts ballots up to 3 days after the election, that would be October 30th. The letter comes as the U.S. Postal Service is in the national spotlight, amid reports that policy changes at the agency are contributing to delivery delays. The newly installed Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, a top GOP donor and North Carolina businessman, has argued that the organization needs to operate efficiently and effectively. Several Democrats have raised concerns that the Trump ally is trying to sabotage the election. Charlotte area Congresswoman Alma Adams has called on DeJoy to resign. For its part, the North Carolina State Board of Elections is advising people to plan ahead and have their ballot in the mail a week before Election Day at the latest, just to be safe. That's actually earlier than the recommendation from the Postal Service. Voters can also drop off their ballot at their local county board of elections or at an early voting location. In Washington, Kevin Fry, Spectrum News 1.